Fabulous Frank by Haley Lockhart. Once upon a time, there lived a flamingo named Frank. He wasn't just an ordinary flamingo, though. He was purple. Frank lived in a small town in Florida where he attended Panther Elementary School. Frank enjoyed learning, but he hated going to school because all the other animals would make fun of his odd coloring. When Frank returned home in the afternoons, even his own siblings would make fun of him, saying things like, "No animals are supposed to be purple." Frank would go straight to his room and not come out till the next morning. For the first couple years of Frank's life, he actually was pink, just a little darker than the rest of his flamingo friends. It wasn't until he began elementary school that he started turning darker and darker pink until one day he woke up purple. After begging his mom to take him to the doctor, she finally gave in and they went. The doctor said that Frank's pigment was the first he'd ever seen. "Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do for you, kid. You are going to be purple for the rest of your life." Frank was sad, but he knew that he needed to move on. There wasn't anything he could do to change. One day, Frank was watching the daily news when suddenly a green pig popped up on the screen. This caught Frank by surprise. "Good afternoon, fellow animals. The forecast for this week is rainy and overcast through Thursday, then sunny and in the 70s through Sunday." Frank gasped. The green pig is a meteorologist. Immediately, Frank's mind started racing. Maybe I'm not so different. If a green pig can be a meteorologist, then why should I care what these other animals say about me? I am purple, and that's okay, because I'm still beautiful. Frank was inspired. He ran into his room and whipped open his laptop, entitled a blog post, "My Journey Through Accepting Myself." For hours on end, Frank sat and wrote about his life, the whole 11 years of it at least. He started by talking about his transition from pink to purple, then the doctor's appointment and bullying, and finally the pig who had just changed his whole perspective on life. Frank spoke about how at the end of the day, the mean comments he received from his fellow schoolmates made him stronger. Almost immediately, he got a huge positive response from other animals around the world. Some saying, "I have been ashamed my whole life, but seeing this allowed me to accept myself." Over the next few years, animals near and far learned to accept themselves, their differences, and embrace their natural beauty. Animals who bullied Frank apologized and realized that they were the flawed ones the whole time. In the end, we are just animals trying to survive in this big world. In order to do that, we have to come together and love one another, said Frank. The end.